Hi, I'm Aoife Harrison. I'm a partner in PwC Ireland, and I'm also co-leading our financial services transfer pricing practice for the firm. Today, I'm joined in New York by Caroline Goemaere, a partner in our PwC Luxembourg office, and we're just off the back of a fabulous 2 days where we've had a network conference and a client conference and lots of meetings in between. And we've had a lot of really good discussions around asset management, particularly an area that you're focused on. So I was hoping today perhaps you could talk about some of the key trends that you're seeing in that industry.
I would say next to the usual suspects that we have for the moment, Pillar 2 and transfer pricing, transparency, public CBCR, we also see an increase in audits, transfer pricing audits, but also joint audits, cross-border, but also, especially in Europe, but also VAT and transfer pricing going together hand in hand and doing the audits. And what we also see, especially in the asset management industry, is the increased interest of the regulator in transfer pricing. Regulator asking for transfer pricing documentation, how the transfer pricing is implemented, etc.
There's a lot of things coming at people. So in terms of all of that, I mean, what are the biggest discussion points you're having with clients in asset management and how to navigate some of those points?
So we have both in the traditional as well as in the alternatives industry. We have a lot of discussions on transfer pricing method. Is a cost plus a correct method? Are we applying revenue split, profit split? And all the three can be a reasonable answer. It's just depending on where the investment manager is, what they are actually doing, how their business model is implemented, etc. So we are having a lot of conversations about that. And then at the fund side, we have a lot of conversations about financial transactions, the Chapter 10 of the OECD being fully implemented. It's no longer about the level of the interest rate anymore, but it's also now about the commercial rationale, looking at borrower-lender perspective, looking at arm's length terms and conditions, but also the debt level. I think a lot of countries are now also embedding in a usual transfer pricing analysis also the debt level towards the portfolio companies, toward the property companies. And then the third subject, which is a subject already for many, many years, are the cost allocations and the service fees.
Okay. And are you seeing a lot of people change their models into sort of away from the traditional cost pluses and into the profit splits now?
Yeah. So, but it really depends on the maturity of the investment manager and what they are doing locally. So it is not that it's a fits-all type of solution. It's really looking at where they are, what is their track record, how are the business model established, and then implementing the correct TP methods.
Okay. And debt capacity, certainly, I know that got a lot of conversation going over the last couple of days because that is quite a change for a lot of taxpayers. What advice would you give to your clients as they are navigating all of this and how to set them up best for success if they are audited?
I would say doing regular risk assessments. The asset management industry is changing a lot. Change of business model. People are moving, remote working, changing decision-making processes. So that is all impacting the transfer pricing policy. So you need to keep track of where people are and what the impact could be. And there is also some other changes like retailization that might have impact on transfer pricing models. So keep being very close to business and making sure that you capture the changes in the business models. A second thing, I would say implementation. Making sure that the transfer pricing method is correctly implemented. And that goes from design of the transfer pricing policy, but also the agreements, the financial statements, the calculations, tax return, everything needs to be aligned. And I would say regularly reviewing whether that's actually properly done. And then also assessing, do we want to go in a model where everything is automized? Should we go a bit more professional in implementing our transfer pricing? And I think we just discussed a lot operational transfer pricing during the 2 days. And if you want to be prepared for an audit, that's definitely something to consider.
There's definitely a lot of exciting stuff around operational TP at the moment.
Yeah. And then a third point, I would say there is a lot of transfer pricing audits that are evidence-based. So the tax authorities are now asking if you say decision-making is there in your transfer pricing documentation, but now they are asking, can you actually prove it? Yeah. So making sure that you have this proof available, taking track of emails or storage of some data so that you, in case you get questions, that you have this data available.
Wow, there's a lot of changes and a lot of interesting things happening. It's a very exciting time for asset management. So thank you very much for sharing your insights today and over the last couple of days. And thank you all for listening. I hope you found that interesting.